the RFID, for information about RFID. Now, as time progresses, the news results increment, and RFID becomes more important to the world, and it's being used more and more. You can also see it these days in the public transport system. So, as we told, there are some problems, and these problems were, especially in the Netherlands, they got a huge news uprise when some people hacked the OFA Chip Card. The OFA Chip Card is a card for the Dutch public transport, which is making use of RFID, and you put some amount of money on your card, and then you can travel, and every time that you pass, that you go out of the station or you go into the station, they subtract some money from this card. Now, the two people in the middle here, they hacked this OFA Chip Card, and they actually had, when they did this, people in the parliament, in the Dutch parliament, they asked questions about it, and they had to defend their work there, and if they had paid more attention to what was the problem with RFID before introducing the OFA Chip Card, they could have prevented all those problems. However, they didn't, so now we learned the lesson the hard way that when the OFA Chip Card was already implemented, that it was hackable. Now, if these things are hackable and you want still to protect them, so how could you do that? So we thought about that, and while we were thinking about that, we created this RFID Guardian. As you can see here, this is the latest version of the RFID Guardian. It's version 3. We had a few versions before this one. They were all like quick hack versions. And this is the version which is more, a little bit more structured and which can be produced in a multiple number of times. We did some research on this, and when we were working on this, we saw that other people might also like to use it. So why not make a version which we can mass produce? After we improved this version, we made another version. We're working on that right now, and this is version 4 of the RFID Guardian. So what actually is the RFID Guardian? It's a handheld mobile device for RFID privacy and security management. So you have this device, it's like a PDA, and there's a little screen on it, and you can see all the communication which is going on between your tags and an external reader from, again, the supermarket or the library. The basic idea how we created this RFID Guardian was to make a software-defined radio. You take an antenna and you feed it to a digital, there's some beep. So an analog to digital converter, and then you process the whole communication in software. The RFID Guardian can both emulate tags, and it's also a reader. So if I go with my device to a reader, I can say I'm now 256 different tags, and another reader can read this. So I can create tags, and I can therefore test the external readers. And furthermore, you can use it to do research on how safe your system of RFID tags and RFID readers is. So, as I told, you can create tags. So this is what we call tag spoofing. So if I create like 256 tags or 1024 tags, I can continue creating tags till in the end the reader will overflow and cannot handle the communication anymore. So I can see what the limitations are of my system, my RFID system. Now, furthermore, we can also jam communication between a tag and a reader. This is actually a good safety benefit, because now I can have some kind of firewall between my tags and a reader. I can say, today I don't want this card, my bank card, to access any other reader than the reader from the bank. So if some kind of thief wants to read my tag, he can't, because I jam the communication, because I see that his reader is not from the bank. Now, this firewall is fueled by some rules. The rules are just a simple text file which you can enter on your screen or through some user interface. What we do for the first rule, for instance, we accept all readers to read our tags, all our cards. But with the second rule, we can actually say that in this case it's a laundry tag, a tag that you can put in your clothes for the laundry washers, that they know which clothes are yours. Here you allow the reader from the laundry service to read your tag, but no other reader. And the last rule is for if you're at home, then you want your home reader to read all tags, so that when you come home from the grocery store with all your grocery stuff with tags on it, then the reader at home can read what you bought and can make an inventory of that. Now, now I will tell some more about the hardware of the RFID Guardian. It consists mainly of 3 parts. The complete hardware design is open source, so you can find online all the designs, and if you like, you can use those designs to make your own RFID Guardian. Later on, in a few months' time, we will also produce a number of RFID Guardians that we will sell, so you don't have to make your own, you can also buy it. But if you really want to make your own, or if you want to improve the design, then you're always welcome. Later on I will show you where you can find us on the internet. And you can take those designs and do whatever you like with it. The software is also completely open source. The 3 parts of this hardware are first an analog front end, which digitizes the incoming radio signals from an RFID tag. Then we have a backplane to which the analog front end connects. On this backplane we have an FPGA which does the digital signal processing and which processes the radio signal to a baseband signal, which can be processed by a DSP board, which is on the very right. In short, this is how it looks like. The whole design is modular, so the DSP board, which is called RFB40, can be used in any other project, even projects that have nothing to do with this RFID Guardian. So say, for instance, you want to use your own open source DSP board, then you can take our DSP board and then you can use it for your own project. Now I will tell a little bit more about how we digitize the incoming signals. It's very simple, actually. That's the benefit of a digital radio. First, the incoming signal, we down-convert it to some frequency which is easy for us to process. The incoming signal, the incoming tags we use, can be from very high frequency to very low frequency, as we can see later. After the analog part, we go to the discrete part, and on the right side, that's where the FPGA is, and that's where they demodulate the signals. So how does the RFID Guardian version 4 look like physically? We have a box with an LCD screen. We have an internal antenna. It's also possible to put an external